There's been more breaking news that we are tracking. This is a significant development. We are learning that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has met with Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff and Field Marshal Asim Munir at the GHQ in Islamabad, signaling a direct Beijing-GHQ channel of communication. Top intelligence sources have revealed this direct meeting between China's Wang Yi and Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff signals Beijing bypassing Islamabad's civilian leadership and also endorsing the Pakistani army's supremacy in regional security. This move aims to further militarize protection of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. There is a serious concern that the PLA-linked forces may expand their presence in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Balochistan under the guise of counter-terrorism. This meeting is also being seen as a show of China-Pakistan alignment that's aimed at countering India's regional rise and diplomatic outreach between US, Quad, also the Middle East, Beijing, Rawalpindi, and we're looking at that particular coordination. But there is also one larger question that we must ask, because remember, Wang Yi was just here in India. He'd met with his Indian counterpart and now he is in Pakistan. He is in fact meeting with the army chief there, Asim Munir. My colleague Akanksha Swaroop with all of these details and to offer more perspective. Akanksha, I wanted to understand what's with this double dance by China. What really is happening? On the one hand, we are looking at CPEC 2.0. On the other hand, we also saw Chinese cozying up to India. What explains this?
Right, Griha, in inputs that have been shared by Securities Editor Mr. Manoj Gupta, it's important to highlight that Wang Yi landed in Islamabad after that significant, much talked about visit to New Delhi, and it is for a Pakistan-China Foreign Minister strategic dialogue that he was here in New Delhi, and in fact in Pakistan he was there for a strategic dialogue with the Pak Foreign Minister as well. But interestingly, look at the photographs that we have brought for our viewers. Those pictures go on to suggest how Pakistan Army clearly has an upper hand in foreign policy execution, and they have sidelined civilian diplomacy optics. So it's a direct evidence of how Beijing is not just acknowledging but also expressing its willingness that Islamabad's civilian institutions should be superseded by Pakistan Army's supremacy, especially when it comes to regional security matters. And this meeting is a move to further militarize the CPEC protection. Now that raises serious concerns of PLA-linked security forces. Will there be an expansion by PLA in POK and Balochistan, that too in the garb of counter-terrorism cover? This meeting is also being seen as a show of China-Pakistan alignment, which is of course aimed at countering India's own regional rise, and a diplomatic outreach to counter, say, the Quad, the United States, even the Middle East. And Beijing-Rawalpindi coordination is not going to be good news for New Delhi, given that it's a direct signal that China is going to support terrorism by supporting Pakistan against India. I'd also like to remind that this is a meeting which is coming just months after that intense military standoff between India and Pakistan in the month of May, which India, of course, that's when we saw Operation Sindoor happen. And this is also during which Islamabad deployed Chinese-made fighter jets and missiles. India, of course, has maintained that Beijing had actively supported Pakistan's response. And even though officials in Islamabad have said that their country's victory in the conflict is based on their own capabilities, but we've seen how CPEC is becoming extremely pivotal to this bilateral partnership between Beijing and, more to say, between GHQ or the general headquarters of the army in Pakistan and CPEC and CPEC's own security, which will mean that they will militarize the security. Will that involve PLA's expansion over there to counter the Baloch insurgency? How that shapes up the military dynamics for Islamabad and New Delhi would be interesting to see.
Absolutely, Akanksha. Thank you so much.